So what is going on, guys? My name is Mehul and welcome to your 8th Angular tutorial, in which you're going to take a look at something known as ngIf. Now this is one of the things which Angular team has changed when moving from Angular 2 to Angular 4, right? So there has been some changes in syntax and some new things have been added, so it will be interesting to look at, right? So let's just begin. Now, from Angular 2, if you remember, or if you have, any sort of experience with that, ngIf is pretty much like if your condition evaluates to true, then display that thing. Otherwise, obviously, don't display that. So right now, if you take a look, I'm in the app component, and the application is running on my PC. So what I can do is simply go ahead and create a div which says this works. Simple as that. And as you can see that this works. Now what I can do is actually write something like asterisk ngIf, and this asterisk ngIf, you don't need to worry a lot about this asterisk. It's just syntactic sugar. It just decodes into a more template sort of syntax later on. Angular would do that for you. You don't need to worry about that. So ngIf, now here goes our condition, which is a Boolean result, literally, right? So what we can do is for very simple things, we can say 1 equal to 1, and you can see that the app is set on automatic reload, so it probably works, right? Let me just move it down here. Okay, so if I write if 1 is equal to 2, you can see that we do not get that because this is obviously false, right? So this is a very basic usage of ngIf. Now let's just see how you can create something like let's just say visible, we can say, right? And again, visible is not defined, so let's just go to our app and say visible is equal to true, and this works. And if I change it to false, you can see it doesn't work, right? So what we can do now is that we can just create a button here which says something like that when we click on this button, that particular button on the screen, then we can just toggle this visible from true to false or false to true accordingly. So a very simple implementation would be writing button click, and again, I haven't actually explained this button click, why we are writing this in brackets, but I'm just gonna explain that later on. So just stick with me and just remember that you need to put that event in bracket right now. What we can do is now write our function name, or we can just do it right here as well, but I'm just gonna create a function which says toggle div, right? And we can say toggle just like that, and now we can just go ahead in our app component, and right here we can say something like toggle div, and then we can say this dot visible is equal to this dot visible, right? Which just essentially changes its value from true to false or false to true accordingly, right? So if you take a look, if I click on toggle, you can see that our div pretty much toggles between visibility true and false because of this ngIf right here, right? So with this, what we can do is we can get deeper into what Angular 4 offers now, which is the if-else kind of statement inside this ngIf itself. So what Angular 2 does is, or Angular 4 rather now, is that it provides you with some syntax like div ngIf your condition. If it's true, then what you need to do, then a template, right? Else another template. Now essentially, if you write something like this div would actually never appear on the screen, right? So let's just go ahead and create a template. Now a template, you can create a template essentially with ng template for Angular 4 now. Angular has deprecated this template because it has been introduced in HTML, as a standard tag, and it will be actually pretty much included in future releases of the browser. So with ng template, you can create something like, let's just say, word or odd clicked, and I can say odd number of clicks, and I can create another template, even clicked, and we can say even number of clicks, right? And right here, what we can do is we can get rid of this button and say that, or rather, we're just gonna need that. So if ngIf is visible, then odd clicked, else even clicked, right? So first of all, our button is visible. So actually that means that we have 0 clicks right now. So there should be odd clicked, right? And make sure the spelling matches. Yeah, so if the button, if visible is true, which is indeed right now, then show the even click template, otherwise show the odd click template, right? So right now it says me even number of clicks. If I click on toggle, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, like that. So if we take a look in the DOM, then you'll see that we are not getting this div anywhere in the scene, right? But what happens if or actually, as you can see as well, we do not get this works anywhere on the screen, right? So essentially this div is not in DOM tree if you are making use of then. But if you do something like just else, right? So in this case, it would show you this works and odd number of clicks. And now you can see that inside our DOM, for the visible, when visible is true, we are getting the div inside our DOM. And when the odd click template is working, then we are not getting that div. We are just getting the template right here, which we have defined, right? So either way, whatever you like, you can go ahead with that. I'll just pretty much stick to ng templates as well, only because it kind of makes things clear and explicit. So yeah, that's pretty much it for an introductory tutorial for ngIf. And we also have ng4, which we're going to take a look at later on in the series. So yeah, that's all for this one. And if you liked it, then don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you then in the next one.